Well, here we are, friends, just a couple weeks from Thanksgiving. Are you already starting to think about how the holidays will go with the people in your lives that have addiction? Hi, I'm Gina, and welcome to Hope and Cope. Here we explore biblical concepts and essential skills to help you live your best life even in the face of pain and tragedy. So today's topic is preparing for the holidays. Friends, if you find this channel helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button and consider sharing this with someone that it might benefit so that we can reach more people in need. Did you know that it helps my channel to grow if you will just watch to the end? So I'll wrap up this video with one point that you must keep in mind, so stay with me to the end. You probably have that one stressful or even disastrous experience from the past concerning a loved one with addiction. You might remember that I told you about that disastrous Thanksgiving of ours back early on in my husband's addiction. If I can find it, I'll link the video where I talked about that in the description box. There is hope, though. You do not have to go into every holiday completely defenseless. Here are some helpful suggestions. Try to set some healthy boundaries. It's important to set clear boundaries with loved ones who are struggling with addiction. Boundaries protect your peace and help create healthy environments. But only you can decide what boundaries are helpful in your family. So once you have a few healthy boundaries, it's important to communicate that ahead of time to your family. You can communicate that to your loved ones that are coming and to the person or people that have problems with alcohol or drugs. Especially if you're the one hosting a gathering, it's helpful to just get that stuff established beforehand so that they know what behaviors are acceptable. And it's also important you can separate the boundary and the expectation from the love you have from that loved one. So you can say, I love you, I always am happy to see you, but here are the boundaries and here's what will be acceptable. When things take us on the blind side, that's because we don't realize what are our own triggers. So we know the person with addiction has triggers, but did you know that you have your own triggers? Whether you see them clearly or not, you have your own triggers. So try to make sure you're not exhausted. Make sure you get plenty of rest. And I also would say, with the holidays coming, learn to say no to activities that are not essential. And only you know which activities are essential for you. Your child's play, that's probably essential. The dinner out with coworkers, the company dinner party, maybe that one's not essential. Only you can decide these things, but learn to say no to things that are not essential so that you don't have to be exhausted and be stretching yourself too thin and going in too many directions and having too many balls to juggle in the air. Whether you participate in casual social drinking or not, you don't have to go to parties or events where you know there will be people that get out of hand. That is completely and entirely up to you. Of course, when you have guests at your home, that's a good place to set those healthy boundaries. But actually going and putting yourself in that position is a different story. Maybe you could show up early and then leave early. Well, I don't mean show up ahead of time. I just mean show up on time and then leave early before people get, to where they're drinking more. And then think about things to prepare for the holidays, things that you can do in advance. If there's anything that you can do in advance, maybe it's a little too early, maybe you buy gifts, maybe you like to send Christmas cards, I don't really know, but if you could start just, making your list, planning your budget, start looking at those early deals online. I don't know, I'm just trying to give you suggestions of ways that you can pace yourself so that you don't have too much on your cart at one time. If you have a job where you can take a few days off during the holidays and plan to do your shopping, plan to do your wrapping, plan your events around those times, then all of this stuff may help you with your own personal triggers of not being too tired, not being too stressed, not having too many things on your cart, too many things on your calendar, too much to keep up with. You know, maybe not planning doctor's appointments during the month of December if you can avoid it. Just little things like that could possibly help your holidays to go better so that you're not the one that is overly sensitive to the behaviors of other people. I always like to remind you and point you back to the Serenity Blueprint, which I created years ago during my husband's addiction, and it helped me to stay sane throughout all those years. And I call it my Serenity Blueprint, and it has an acronym, which is CALM, and that stands for Control Your Thoughts, Accept Reality, Look to God, and Maximize Forgiveness. So if you would like more information about the Serenity Blueprint, I can try to either put the playlist at the end or I'll link it in the description box. The point that I mentioned early in this video that I said I would share at the end is to try to remember that gatherings and just the overall pressures of the holidays can be extra hard on people with addiction. So it causes them more stress and makes them more prone to excessive use and more prone to non-socially acceptable behaviors. So if they act out worse during this season, try not to take it personally. It's because they are overstressed. It's more than likely not got anything to do with you or the family or the friend group. It's just because having to show up or possibly needing to bring gifts or wanting to bring gifts or wanting to be there for their family causes them extra stress. So that causes them, unfortunately, to behave even worse during the holidays than they would at other times. So regarding knowing your own triggers and setting healthy boundaries, I wanted to share a Bible verse with you, which is Proverbs 4:23. It says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. So we're going to guard our heart. We're going to keep our focus on the reason for the season. We're going to know our triggers and try not to get close to them. And we're going to set those healthy boundaries. So let me know what you think about this topic. If you have any suggestions for people for managing the holidays with loved ones that have an addiction, I'd love for you to share that in the comment box. I hope that a wide variety of people find my content and find it helpful, but I do come from a distinctly Christian perspective, and Thanksgiving and Christmas are two very, very meaningful holidays for the Christian faith. And so I want to ask you to please try to cling to your faith. Please try to stay grounded in your devotion and worship music and remembering the reason for the season, and don't let situations that are beyond your control rob you from having a beautiful holiday season. Thank you for your time. If you found this content valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe for me and share it with a friend. You'll always find more encouragement in the description box. Please take a minute to leave that comment and let me know if there is any topics that I haven't discussed that you would like to see me cover. Look for new content every Sunday, and remember that I'm praying for you and I love you. And until next time, God bless.